Hi there, my name's Paul and I'm just creating this documentary for a level 3 college project, and this is about the past, the present and the future of this pier, which is currently in ruins and looking for process and improvement in the future. So I hope you enjoy the narrative and hopefully some insight into the history, the past, present and the future of this BIRNBECK pier. I'm hoping in this documentary to provide some history, some information and facts and figures about the past, the present and the future of this BIRNBECK pier project. So hopefully sit back and enjoy some of the history, the past, present and future of this BIRNBECK pier from Weston Super Mare. And I hope you'll enjoy hearing some more information about this project. The story of BIRNBECK Pier. BIRNBECK Pier opened in 1867, was built during what is now considered the golden age of British seaside pleasure pier building, from 1860 to 1904. BIRNBECK Pier is unique in that the main buildings are all on an island with a pier bridge connecting them to the mainland. Designed by Eugenius Birch, who was also responsible for designing 14 other piers around the British coast, including Brighton and Blackpool, work commenced in 1864, while Weston's own noted architect, Hans Price, designed the ornate Gothic-style toll house and piermaster's house at its entrance on the mainland. On 5th of June 1867, the pier was opened to much fanfare, the town being decorated with banners, flags and floral arches. The day was also declared a local public holiday. 12,000 schoolchildren went on the pier free of charge, and the son of the lord of the manor, 12-year-old Master Cecil Piggott, mounted on a cream-coloured pony, officially opened the pier before a procession of various assembled dignitaries. There was one near disaster when some marching riflemen in the procession reached the centre of the bridge, and it began shaking violently. The speedy order to break step and stop marching averted any further disaster. At the end of the day, a banquet was held in the town hall, and the day ended with a fireworks display. When the pier opened, it only had a small pavilion and a western landing jetty. In 1872, the jetty was removed and replaced by a wooden jetty on the more sheltered northern side of the island, which remains the position of the existing North Jetty today. In 1884, refreshment rooms were constructed, together with large reading rooms and the completion of the pavilion. In 1882, the first lifeboat was installed on the island, and in 1902, the large lifeboat house we know today was erected on the south side, and for many years it held the record of having the longest RNLI lifeboat slipway in the country. On Boxing Day in 1897, some of the buildings on the island were destroyed by fire, and by July 1898, just 7 months after the fire, new buildings designed by Western architect Hans Price had been erected. The clock tower was erected in around 1894. Like most piers, BIRNBECK had a liberal collection of amusement machines, including a motoscope, or what the butler saw machine, considered quite risque at the time. By 1891 it included such amusements as a shooting gallery, merry-go-round, park swings, a theatre of wonders and a licensed bar. Later highly popular attractions included a water chute installed in 1905 and the flying machine, or airships. The flying machine consisted of a tall metal pylon from which gondola-style seats were suspended by cables. As the machine began to rotate, the gondolas swung out high above the island and over the sea. There was also a switchback railway previously installed in 1889, and a more short-lived lighthouse helter-skelter in 1907 to 1908. In these Edwardian times, the pier was truly at the peak of its popularity, served both by visitors arriving on the incoming steamers and others coming from the mainland by horse-drawn cab, car, carriage or tram, or by walking along the promenade which terminated near the pier. With the arrival of the new Grand Pier in 1904, on the seafront at Weston, BIRNBECK also became known as the Old Pier. Business, not surprisingly, became reduced during the First World War of 1914 to 1918, but BIRNBECK regained much of its former popularity in the 20s. Although it had lost the flying machine, which had been sold off in 1915, the 1889 switchback was removed in 1924, and the water chute followed in 1931. A newly constructed concrete north terrace appeared in 1920, still in situ, but so badly deteriorated today it is currently due for demolition and removal. Some new amusements were added during the 30s, but with the arrival of the Second World War in 1939, the pier was requisitioned by the Department of Miscellaneous Weapons Development and became HMS BIRNBECK. At this time, all the remaining amusements were removed from the pier. The heyday of BIRNBECK was finally over. BIRNBECK had previously survived fire and storm and always come back stronger and more successful than before, but the changing commercial conditions of the post-war era led to its steady decline. After 112 years, declining steamer traffic and the accompanying reduction in visitors to the pier resulted in the ending of all ferry services on 19th of October 1979. The competing Grand Pier had also become the holidaymakers' choice of venue. The pier was finally closed to the public on safety grounds in 1994. There have been various changes of ownership of BIRNBECK Pier over the last 50 years, and many grandiose schemes for its improvement and renovation have all, to date, come to nothing. It is currently in a very sad state of dereliction and disrepair. All is, however, not lost, and this Grade 2 listed building may again reflect much of its former glory. In July 2023, North Somerset Council bought the old pier for £400,000, funded by the RNLI, who want to bring the 1902 lifeboat house back into full use as a lifeboat station. And in October 2024, a substantial £10 million lottery grant was awarded to help save BIRNBECK Pier, and work has already started on its restoration. Local people have also played a very important part in the campaign to save the pier, including those in the BIRNBECK Regeneration Trust and Friends of the Old Pier Society. Indeed, the future now looks bright for the famous Old Pier. Long live BIRNBECK. So thank you for watching the footage, and I hope you enjoyed the information about the past, the present and the future of this project that was called the BIRNBECK Pier. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about some of the varied history, the facts and figures, and some of the insights into the BIRNBECK Pier history and project. And fingers crossed, it's a positive future for the BIRNBECK Pier.